And the last shipping issue, but certainly not the least, that I wanted to talk about today is your packaging and your own shipping. Now, what I've learned in doing this over a few years is there are some right ways and some wrong ways, especially with eBay standard envelope, because the rules are a little bit strict on that. So my suggestion is you have to use a number 10 envelope. I tried using number 6s for a long time, and I was having problems with them here and there from the post office. I don't know why the longer envelope is so important. The only thing I can think of is they want it to be able to bend in half. If you put a card in here, you can bend this envelope in half and it'll get through all the rollers for their machines. The other is weight. Make sure that you're buying the right stamp based on the weight. So if it's 1.9 ounces, make sure you're buying a 2-ounce shipping. If it's 2.8 ounces, make sure you're buying a 3-ounce shipping. You can get a cheap little food scale anywhere. This one I like because it measures in 3 different units. It measures in pounds, ounces, and kilograms and grams. Because it's a food scale, it should measure down to pretty small amounts, which is handy when you're only doing a couple ounces at a time anyway with your mail. But I usually have it set on ounces, and it'll do up to a tenth of an ounce. So I'll put something on it. It'll say 4.2, and then I know I have to buy 5 ounces of postage. So it's real simple. It just sits on one corner of my desk. After I, fill the envelope, I throw the envelope right on it. Gives me a weight and grab the envelope and then ship it out. Most of them, if you're shipping a single card, you're going to be fine at an ounce. It's when you start getting to more multiple cards or a thicker card or a metal card or something like that. Those are probably the biggest things that will bring you issues of getting your shipments returned to you or the customer getting asked for additional funds to pay for the postage, which customers hate that, so obviously. Especially when you're buying a card for $1 and now they get the envelope and it says you owe 48 cents shipping or something like that. So make sure you have the right materials, using a number 10 envelope, use a nice clean shipping supply. I use these Elite card savers and tape it really good so it's not sliding around in there or falling out of the holder. And make sure you have the envelope sealed and put a nice clean label on it. I do suggest using a thermal label printer. I know some people print directly to envelopes. That's not a bad idea either if you want to do like laser envelope printing. But the labels work really well. They look good on the envelope. I can show this one here. They look good on the envelope. Your postage is right up here. It has their address on it. I always seal it over the opening side, so this is the normal side where you would address. I always fill it on or attach it to the opening side. That way it's pretty much tamper-proof, right? You'd have to go through the label in order to open this envelope or reseal it or whatever you're going to do with it. And as you can see, folds in half just fine. So if you take those measures, make sure your thickness is right. It's got to be under 1/4 of an inch thick to go as eBay standard envelope. If it feels like it's too high, this is generally what I do. If it feels like it's too high, split up how many cards you have put together and then start expanding out your shipping. So if it's too many cards to fit in one side of this envelope, then I use 2 card savers and I put some on each side. If it's too many for that envelope, then I graduate to a 6x9 where I can fit 3 stacks of card savers with cards in it. Basically, my limit then is like 15 to 16 cards, depending on how thin they are, max to go in one of those 6x9s, and those are generally a 3-ounce postage. So they still qualify for eBay standard envelope, which is key. Anything above that, it's going to be a package. You're going to have to use USPS Ground Advantage and ship accordingly. Next sale is a 1998 Top Stars Derek Jeter, and this is the red parallel. You can see the foil is in red there, and his name is in red on the top. These are all numbered out of 97, 99, so pretty high number, 10,000 copies essentially. And this one sold for $4. So that's it. I believe those are the major shipping issues, and I wanted to address those today. Let me know down below what you think of this. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you have different ways of doing things? Is there other issues you faced? Shipping cost of it, the methods of it, the accepted materials of it. So it's something we have to really stay on top of year after year after year after year. I think it's important to go over what's hitting us right now and what can we do to prevent any issues going forward. Feel useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up.
This has been a major issue this year, figuring out how to get cards to, especially low dollar cards, to customers economically. This information is some of the best that I've seen this year on how to do that. I hope you'll take note of this, follow these instructions. It will save you a lot of time, energy, effort, frustration, and money uh, if you're selling cards on eBay. So I hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll talk to you in the next Insider Tips video.